Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Anna Manuel. It's out with the old and in with the new as the city of Corning begins work on 2 construction projects. Big Fox's Josh Feldberg joins us from the sites of these projects.
Changes are coming to Corning's landscape as 2 new construction projects are underway. Demolition has started at the former Corning Community College building on West Denison Parkway. Construction crews have begun tearing down the 33,500 square foot building. According to Corning City Manager Mark Reichman, the space will be filled with a new Dandy Mart. Once the new store is complete, the current Dandy Mart on the corner of West Denison and Walnut will be demolished. The city is yet to receive any plans from Dandy for the new Mini Mart, so the timeline is still unknown as to when the project will be completed. Across the Chemung River on the other side of town, Reedman Companies has officially broke ground and started making progress on the new rental housing development coming to Corning. Northside Place will be a 25 single-family rental home community on the site of the former Northside Blodgett Middle School. Northside Place's first homes are expected to be completed by the summer of 2023. The whole development is expected to be completed by the end of next year. Rent for the homes will range from $2,800 to $3,500 depending on unit size. Floor plans and other information about Northside Place is available on Reedman's website. Josh Feldberg, Big Fox News, Corning.
23-year-old Dylan Fitch of Elmira arrested after allegedly beating another person with a baseball bat. Fitch was arrested on Tuesday in connection to the assault that took place on Market Street. On November 26th, a verbal altercation escalated between Fitch's friends and another group of people. Fitch allegedly then beat a man in the other group with a baseball bat. The unnamed victim was in critical condition and was still in the hospital as of this week. Fitch has been charged with first-degree assault, fourth-degree criminal possession of a weapon, and first-degree reckless endangerment. Cazenovia College will be closing after 200 years. The college announced yesterday that after its spring 2023 semester, it will close permanently. Cazenovia is located near Syracuse University in Madison County. The college cites financial reasons as to why the institution is shutting its doors. With the holiday season in full swing, many schools are putting on classic Christmas productions. Our Maggie Hall stopped by one at Corning Painted Post High School that is completely written by its director, David Smith.
Scrooge is a classic Christmas character, and the high school actors are certainly getting into character for their upcoming performances.
Hi, I'm Greg, and I play the role of Bob Cratchit. It's been really fun because of all the friends I've made and all the new people I've seen. And it's just been a really good experience.
David Smith is the writer, director, and composer for this production of Scrooge.
Having all the people kind of be able to relate to the original Christmas Carol. Like, oh my gosh, no, he put that into music.
I've never really been in a super big holiday production, so it's fun to try it out and sing like songs that are kind of Christmassy, but they have a little twist to them, so it's different.
I asked Alexia, who plays the ghost of Christmas Yet to Come, what people can expect when they come to see the show.
A lot of cool visuals, I think, which might not be something you would expect with this show just because it's very classic, so I think people like to perceive it in a very specific storybook way, but I think that the way we've done it is it's going to be very cool, and I think people are going to be a little bit surprised.
To get your tickets to Scrooge, visit cppasd.com/tickets or buy them at the door the day of. Maggie Hall, Big Fox News, Corning.
First Arena's production of A Christmas Carol is now free to the public. First Arena announced that a group of corporate partners has teamed up to make the production free. The deal was struck as a holiday gift to the community and to celebrate First Arena owner Steve Donner's one-year anniversary at the event center. Festivities begin this Saturday, December 10th at First Arena with Joy Fest, followed by the play, which will begin at 7 p.m. The Arctic League in Elmira has closed its big book for 2022 after reaching this year's fundraising goal. The Arctic League reached its goal of $130,000 and will be closing the book on the earliest date in organization history. Now that the Arctic League has reached its goal, fundraising efforts for the year are over. The league asks that community members consider supporting other worthy charities in the area. The FDA amends their emergency use authorization for Moderna's updated COVID-19 vaccine for use in kids as young as 6 months old. The updated shot that targets Omicron variants can be used as a booster for children between 6 months and 5 years old if they already received the 2 original doses of Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine at least 2 months ago. Children under 5 who received all 3 Pfizer doses are not eligible for the updated booster. After 9 months of Russian detainment, basketball great Brittney Griner is heading home as part of a prisoner swap. But as Madeline Rivera reports, it will be a joyous reunion for one family while another American family awaits their loved one's release.
A one-for-one prisoner swap frees basketball star Brittney Griner.
And it is a good morning.
Elation at the White House as President Biden announces the safe release of WNBA star Brittney Griner.
She's safe. She's on a plane. She's on her way home.
The exchange was made Thursday in Abu Dhabi, a week after U.S. officials made the deal with Moscow to swap Griner for international arms dealer Viktor Bout. The 2-time Olympic gold medalist was imprisoned and sent to a Russian penal colony on drug charges stemming from her February arrest. Bout, who's known as the Merchant of Death, was convicted in 2011 and was serving a 25-year federal prison sentence on weapons charges and conspiracy to kill Americans.
He did serve more than half of that sentence, and he's going home only because Brittney Griner didn't deserve to be in a prison.
Griner's wife, Sherelle, was with the president as he made the announcement.
Today, my family is whole, but as you all are aware, there's so many other families who are not whole.
But it's bittersweet for the family of Marine Paul Whelan, who remains in Russian custody nearly 4 years after he was convicted on espionage charges. Whelan's brother releasing a statement saying in part, quote, "The Biden administration made the right decision to bring Ms. Griner home and to make the deal that was possible, rather than waiting for one that wasn't going to happen." President Biden blames Russia for leaving Whelan out of the swap, saying Moscow is treating Whelan's case differently from Griner's.
We are not giving up. We will never give up.
Griner is expected to be back on U.S. soil later today. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
The House passes and is sending a bill protecting same-sex and interracial marriages for President Biden to sign into law. The Respect for Marriage Act is one of Speaker Nancy Pelosi's last achievements before stepping down from leadership next month as Republicans take control of the chamber. The bill requires people be considered married in any state as long as their marriage is valid in the state which the marriage was performed. Celine Dion announces she's been diagnosed with an incurable neurological disorder. Speaking to her fans in an emotional video on Instagram, the 54-year-old singing superstar revealed she's been diagnosed with stiff person syndrome, defined by Cleveland Clinic as a rare autoimmune movement disorder that affects the central nervous system. Dion detailed how she's been having spasms, causing her to have difficulty walking and using her vocal cords. The Grammy winner confirmed she will be postponing the European leg of her tour to focus on her health. We wish her the best. Your complete forecast is next, plus this.
3, 2, 1. Some holiday gift ideas for the future architect or engineer in your family. I'm Ashley Strohmeyer. More on that coming up.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
The skies remain dreary and drizzly yet again, as though there are some changes ahead. We were watching that for the most part. We continue to still see those mild conditions as that cloud cover continues to keep that heating. Now, know that the cloud cover is going to start to thin. We still will see some cloudy skies to start off the day, but you can tell that there is going to be more of a change in the weather pattern as we're starting to see some cooling through the overnight, as the overnight temperatures have been staying fairly close to the highs, as there has been really much warming day in and day out, but the surface temperatures have been able to stay pretty pretty steady due to this cloud cover. So some changes ahead as we step into our Friday forecast. And the changes will bring back that sunshine. So dust off those sunglasses and make sure to have those on hand for at least the next few days, as we'll stay bright into our Saturday forecast. Now, there is going to be some cooler temperatures as we've been dealing with temperatures climbing into the 40s. It's really brought a very warm start to the month, but we'll see that we'll be closer to seasonal, talking about 30s for highs at times, but still staying close to that average, which sits around just about 40 degrees in Elmira for this time of the year. Now, with temperatures just around those upper 30s and low 40s, that means that when the next chance for precipitation moves in, we still will have the potential of some more rainfall, but there is some cooler air with this system that is going to allow for some mixed precipitation Sunday into Monday. And that's where we will need to keep an eye on maybe some travel concerns for Sunday, and then especially into our Monday morning commute. Now, Friday morning's commute, you may want maybe an extra layers. It will be a little bit cooler. We'll look at lows at least approaching the 20s, staying just around the lower 30s, but we quickly clear out those skies as the sunrise, and we keep that sunshine as we head into the afternoon, with temperatures even still staying around the 40s. So we're not eliminating those just yet. It's just going to be that sunshine is now what's helping us keep those afternoon high temperatures a little bit on the more mild side, or seasonal side, I should say, for this time of the year, than just being the gloominess keeping the warmth at the surface. So 41 looking to be that high in Elmira, Westfield around 37 degrees, Wayland around about 38. As we head into Saturday's forecast, due to clear and calm skies overnight, we do see a cooler start to the day. So early morning commute or errands, maybe Saturday morning, you want to make sure to let that car get a little bit warm there before you head on out to do those errands. Some holiday shopping, maybe a potential. Now, we will see that temperature wise as we go from those 20s, we still have a 40-degree high temperature in place. So good news is we're still on that seasonal track with that sunshine in place. Travel concerns, though, will arrive on Sunday. A low-pressure system is going to be working its way out of the Midwest, and with it, it's going to be running into some of this cooler but still mild air for this time of the year, and sitting into those mid-30s is what's caused for some mixed precipitation. Early Sunday, there could be an area of freezing rain, especially off towards more of the east-western portions of New York and Pennsylvania, but some of that could run into Elmira, so that's what we'll keep an eye on. As of now, we'll at least put some chances for wintry mixed even snowfall accumulation into Monday, and then we'll have a few more drier days there in the middle of the week before another chance for some snow showers will push in.
Federal prosecutors are reportedly investigating FTX's founder. The survey shows grocery bills are too expensive for the average American. And Google announces the most searched word for 2022. Kelly O'Grady has those stories and more in today's Business Briefs.
Federal prosecutors reportedly opening a criminal investigation into disgraced FTX founder Sam Bankman-Fried over possible financial crimes that led to the collapse of his company. The investigation reportedly focuses on whether Bankman-Fried and his hedge fund manipulated trades in a way that led to the collapse of two cryptocurrencies back in May. FTX is also under investigation for violating money laundering laws. And nearly 70% of Americans are struggling to pay for groceries. That's according to a survey by retail platform Swiftly. They found 83% rely on coupons or loyalty programs to put food on the table. The numbers come as Americans face price increases on everyday essentials across the board. And part one of Prince Harry and Meghan's documentary is out on Netflix. The series will be a total of 6 episodes, and part 2 will be released next week. And the New York Times is asking readers to join a digital picket line after negotiations over higher wages and greater benefits collapsed. The Guild suggesting people, quote, read local news, listen to public radio, pull out a cookbook, and break your Wordle streak instead of reading the Times. And speaking of the Times hit puzzle game, Wordle was the most searched word in the world for 2022, according to the Google Trends Year in Search Roundup. It's estimated more than 1 million people play Wordle every single day. That's business. I'm Kelly O'Grady.
If you have a future astronaut or architect at home, there are plenty of holiday gifts that can stimulate their creativity and thinking and offer plenty of fun. Ashley Strohmeyer has more.
Got an aspiring scientist or engineer in your family? Purdue University has released its annual guide for the best toys and gifts for kids interested in science and math.
The ones that we think demonstrate engineering, teaching, and learning in the toy themselves.
Some of the top picks include Iggy Peck's Big Project book for amazing architects. The book teaches kids how to dream up and plan their own cityscapes and infrastructure projects with plenty of space to sketch out designs. This Elanco Snap My Home kit introduces kids to the basics of electricity and circuits and includes lots of fun gadgets to tinker around with.
Look for toys that allow for open-ended creativity and going beyond maybe what the instruction manual says, but allow the student to explore and try and design and create new things.
The Smartivity hydraulic plane launcher is a fun one that teaches kids about aerodynamics. The kit comes with an easy-to-follow guide on how to build their very own launcher that uses hydraulic pressure to launch paper airplanes. Students are now learning coding earlier than ever. Switcheroo Coding Crew offers a simple introduction for kids ages 4 to 7. Some fun puzzles and games include STEM Explores Brainometry and Zindo, which educates kids about logic and problem solving.
Toys and these informal learning environments are a great way to introduce kids to engineering and hopefully get them excited about future careers in engineering.
To find the full list, just search for the Purdue University Engineering Gift Guide. In New York, I'm Ashley Strohmeyer, Fox News.
Still ahead, new concerns about an increase in children using marijuana. That story and more coming up. As legal marijuana becomes more widespread, there are growing concerns about an increase in children using the drug. Lucas Tomlinson has the story.
Marijuana use among children under 18 has hit an all-time high, soaring nearly 250% over the past 20 years, surpassing alcohol as the drug of choice, according to a new study. And as usage increases, so does the risk of addiction.
1 in 10 adults who uses marijuana will go on to become addicted to marijuana. And with children under the age of 18, that rate goes as high as 1 in 6.
This increase partially due to THC potency jumping from 4% to more than 15% in recent years. Some doctors warn increased legalization and accessibility, even for users under the legal age of 21, have made it easier for children to trade the bottle for bud. And experts worry the effects of marijuana could lead to an uptick in medical issues.
Emergency rooms are going to be clogged with people with cannabis-induced psychosis who have underlying mental health issues.
Meanwhile, recreational marijuana is now legal in 21 states and the nation's capital, with some arguing cannabis is a booming business and the drug can help Americans in a number of health issues. But others remain concerned about the impact drug usage has on America's youth.
If you smoke it at an early age, you might actually drop your IQ by 8 points. And this IQ is not something that can come back. We also worry that it has an increased incidence of mental health issues, anxiety, stress, depression, suicidal ideation.
Experts attribute the rise of marijuana use to increased legalization nationwide and increased popularity of those edible cannabis products, like gummies, which are now widely available. In Washington, Lucas Tomlinson, Fox News.
There's a fresh reading on the job market. The number of people filing for unemployment benefits for the first time last week was 230,000, an increase of just 4,000, not reflecting the many thousands of job cuts being reported. Continuing claims, those still receiving benefits, did come in higher than expected at 1.67 million. That's an increase of 62,000. Apple is planning to upgrade its data encryption practices. The Wall Street Journal says the new system, Advanced Data Protection, would keep data secure that's stored in iCloud. However, the data also would be inaccessible to law enforcement, even with a warrant. Users can encrypt additional kinds of iCloud data on its servers, including backups, iPhones, and notes. The feature is expected to be available in the US by the end of the year. Also expected later this month, Apple plans to roll out a new karaoke service called Apple Music Sing. Apple Music subscribers will be able to access this new feature using their iPhones, iPads, and the new Apple TV 4K. Consumers dealing with high car prices could soon face another rising cost. Insurify, an online insurance marketplace, predicts average car insurance rates will rise 7% next year. That's following this year's increase of 9%. The average yearly rate would be nearly $1,900. Insurify says higher driving rates, more severe accidents, inflation's impact on vehicle repairs, and even natural forces like wildfires and hurricanes are all factors. Stay with us. We'll have more after the break. We want to leave you with a smile. Santa ditched his sleigh and 8 tiny reindeer for a little while. Instead, he He opted for a grappling hook and LAPD chopper for his visit to the Luskin Orthopedic Institute. The man in red made this special appearance for the facility's annual Toys and Joys event. After landing safely on the ground with a grand entrance, Mr. Claus did what he does best. He spread Christmas cheer while meeting and taking photos with the kids. I'm Scott Beadle. Thank you for watching.